In the spring of 2012, I was given the exclusive opportunity to install onboard video cameras to capture the sinking of the USS Mohawk. The ship served in World War II and was known to have provided one of the crucial weather reports for D-Day, alerting General Eisenhower that the weather was clearing over the Atlantic. As part of the exclusive agreement, I was asked to share and distribute the video and still images via FTP to a special web page for the media to access and download. The video and stills were to be transmitted from sea using a portable satellite system, or BGAN, as soon as possible. 36 hours before the planned sinking, I set out with my cameras and provisions to spend a day and night for the final setup for an early morning deployment and sinking on July 2nd, 2012. I chose to use 6 GoPro cameras to capture the sinking, but I needed to find a way to protect the plastic cameras and housings from the massive blast of the explosives and the hydrodynamic forces of the water and air rushing in the ship as she sank to the bottom. I fabricated steel housings from 4-inch square steel tubing and welded them to the ship after setting the shot. The plan was for the steel housings to remain on the ship, but by pulling a pin on the cap, the cameras could be recovered and returned to the surface. One image that has never been captured before is a close-up shot of the blast charges. I created a small floating barge with a GoPro camera in a reinforced aluminum housing floating on the surface and another GoPro hanging upside down in a metal housing below the waterline. When the ship was in position, I was asked to start and lower my cameras and prepare to get off the ship.
Alright, please work, please work.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. straighten out.
So right, so right.
I think she's riding her up and coming straight up.
Heel down.
The housings performed very well, and only one of the 6 was lost. A camera in the engine room was never found, and it is believed to have been shredded in the engine room, which was loaded with 4 blast charges. Immediately upon sinking, a still photograph taken by John Park was uploaded via BGAN satellite to alert the media of the successful sinking. It was followed by a video of the sinking captured from the surface by Daniel Arusha. As soon as the onboard cameras were retrieved and delivered to the boat, they were quickly imported, edited, and uploaded.
A World War II ship will soon become a major underwater attraction off the coast of southwest Florida. Pretty cool stuff there. Yesterday, crews sunk the 165-foot USS Mohawk off Sanibel Island. It's the last remaining ship of the Battle of the Atlantic in the 1940s. Artifacts were hidden on board the ship before it was sent to the bottom of the sea, and first divers to find them will get to keep them.
Well,
how neat is that?
Those are great, and you know, all the fish love that, of course, as well. So it's a good use of the ship and good for divers.
something to cool down.
The project was a huge success, with media coverage from all over the world, which brought awareness to the USS Mohawk Veterans Memorial Reef Project.
reaching its final resting place nearly 100 feet underwater off the coast of Sanibel Island. Watch these pictures. This is awesome. The mounted camera on deck as this thing goes underwater. The sinking of the Mohawk, by the way, creates the first dedicated Veterans Memorial Reef, because that is going to become a big, big reef. The ship was the last to radio General Dwight D. Eisenhower that the weather was clearing for the D-Day invasion. It's cool. Sound effects and all. It's nice, right? I know.
And about 30 miles off the coast of Florida, the nation's newest Veterans Memorial. Tonight, the intentional sinking of the USS Mohawk.
A former U.S. Coast Guard cutter that played a key role in the invasion of Normandy was intentionally sunk today off the Florida coast to create an artificial reef and an offshore veterans memorial. The USS Mohawk is now about 30 miles west of Fort Myers in the Gulf of Mexico, sitting in about 90 feet of water. We're told it took 3 minutes to sink. During World War II, it was the last ship to radio back to command that the weather was clearing for the D-Day invasion. The Mohawk is now the nation's first Veterans Memorial Reef. It is dedicated to all U.S. veterans and is expected to become a popular scuba diving attraction.
About a year after the sinking, I returned to the USS Mohawk to document a project to install artwork on the wreck to transform her into an underwater museum. I was pleased to see my camera housings welded to the wreck remain and have created habitat for the fish who now call the Mohawk home.